Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people all over the world, welcome to another episode of TylerBrianHour, aka TBH, aka TB Hour. I'm your co-host, Be Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Vegeta Walter Hayden. I'm going to pass it to my boy, my brother, Mans, and TTL. You want to say something to the people?
What up, though, people? Is your co-host, Tyler, the Libra, aka TTL, aka Libra Hendricks, in the building. We are gathered here today on March 7th, 2023. We might be looking at some more snow, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to be the bearer of bad news, but you know, these because people are still forgetting that it's still pretty much winter. So yeah, be on the lookout for some slick roads within the next couple of days. But other than that, you know, I hope you have a good Taboo Tuesday, and I hope you have an even better week moving forward. And let's get to it.
How you doing?
Seriously, I'm all right. I'm actually doing pretty good. I got everything that I needed taken care of. All the preparations are set for my uncle's funeral this next Friday. But I took the day off this Friday because nobody want to make up their mind about where to have it. So yeah, I'll be taking next Friday off too. So it's a good thing I have a shit ton of PTO. So that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, that was the reason that we didn't give you guys a podcast last week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you kind of hinted at that in the podcast. So
I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I didn't know if this nigga was going to go like that night or he was going to like pull through. So I was like, because you told me if I wanted to dead the pod, and I was like, I mean, he's all right until now. Until then, I finally got the text. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm dead. So,
and your weekend?
I feel like it was pretty moderate. It was pretty moderate, so to speak. Nothing really out of the norm came up. We had a good we us too. We had a good outing, you know, together. We went to our boy Space. Is listening party. Shout out to him. And
shout out to Space. Shout out to Fly Life.
And we did, you know, some networking, you know, with our brothers, you know, chopped it up with them. And yeah, it was a good little weekend. Then we capped it off with like just some food and chopped it up at Grove. So it was all right. It was pretty moderate, so to speak. I enjoyed it. As lighthearted as it was cool.
Yeah, shout out to Space, Fly Life, Dominique. I think Dominic got a project out now.
Yes, sir, ski.
And then, you know, Fly Space 3 comes out Friday. And that was a great atmosphere. Like he said, he kind of, Space said he only invited people. Basically, it was word of mouth. And I think it was cool to have all your friends and like family in there and everybody just vibing, having a good time. Nice little spot, too. Definitely think I'll go visit there again sometime soon, especially since it's just right up the road.
I was about to say it's open every day.
Like, also, I just thought that old couple was kind of funny. We was at the listening party, and mind you, it's like 8 or 9, and you know, it's a rap listening party. You know what I'm saying? So niggas is vibing, niggas is hype, niggas is jumping up and down, and then I think the shorty just taps me, and then she's like, "Do you see them?" And then we just turn around, we just see an old couple just chilling, looking at plants, looking at books. Mind you, the coffee shop is closed because, you know, we're using it for a listening party. But they're in there all doing their own thing. I'm guessing you could probably guess the race by that description, but shout out to old people, man. They're definitely built different.
I definitely want to have that type of unbotheredness so I can just go up in there.
And not give a fuck what's going on. Because at first we either thought they was going to steal something or buy something, and they didn't. They just really wanted to look in the store. I guess they probably...
You thought they was going to steal something?
I didn't know what they were going to do.
Old ass niggas, man. They ain't going to
They could have. I thought what they was going to do was get to the counter and put something on the counter and then be hella confused as to why like no one's ringing them out. But...
been goofy as hell.
I mean, I thought it was goofy. They was just there. Yeah, I guess they could have been from the north side and they just... happened to not get the chance to go into that store yet, and then it was like, F it, it's open. Everybody keep walking in and out, so I'm gonna go in.
Yeah. That's probably exactly what happened too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't be really mad at that. You just gotta as random time as that was, it was actually pretty comical. I didn't even notice it until you told me about it. So until I looked back and I saw him, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? I didn't even see him leave, honestly. So they probably just was there, look at some shit, check the surroundings, and then probably just bounced, honestly.
That was good. They was there for a good 10. Like they definitely listened to a couple songs.
I definitely didn't notice them. So.
Yeah, so that was cool. Obviously going to Grove, that was cool. I ain't gonna lie, like that past week, I guess it's been 2 weeks now. The best plan I had for life right now was to like unalive myself. I'm not even trolling, not joking. I was really going through it. And I guess for an update, to not spend too much time on it, still the best plan, still kind of optimistic. Finally got some good news. Just got my taxes like before I came here. So I got a little bread, and hopefully I can use that bread to build some momentum because I do get paid this Friday. But it got so bad that, like, not saying like me and my mom make light of life, but we often, I think she kind of feels the same sentiment as me, as to where she kind of feels trapped and all she has to do is work, just work, pay bills and all that stuff. And we both say how we want to hate work and don't want to work and this and the third. And then so like we would just be complaining to each other, just talking, you know, mother-son type of relationship. And then I voiced some frustrations that I had going on in my life. And then, you know, moms hit people with the typical shit of like, oh, you never, like, you got it bad now, but you never know how bad someone has it. And it's like, I get mom's supposed to do that and things of that nature, but I've always hated that statement, and I still hate that statement to this day just because it doesn't fix my problems. It's true. It's 100% true. But, nigga, that still don't fix the problems I got. If that was like a worldview thing, sure, but I still got the problems I got. And then it was just like, I mean, fuck, like 6, 7, 8 days in a row of like bad shit that happened to me, or like someone that I was close to. Obviously, like you all deal with your uncle, and then my mom, she gives her condolences too. But it got to the point where my mom went from like, oh yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, there's somebody else out there got it worse than you, to where she was just like damn, yeah, no, I get it. Like, take your time, basically. And I guess the whole premise of it is, for everything in life, I'm alone. Like, in everything. Like, as far as putting the blame on someone for the positions and situations that I'm in, it's on me. As far as trying to fix myself and fix the situations I got, it's on me. As far as people knowing what the fuck I go through and who I could generally talk to, it's on me, because you have to make sure that someone's ready for you to dump all them emotions and feelings onto them. But no one's usually, when I need it, there for me. And that's no slight to anyone. I get it. It's life. But me also wanting to try to fix myself, I have to pay for it, so I can't. And then the things that I do for de-stressors are probably some of the most stressful things in the fucking world, because in actuality, you know, it is a joint project with the podcast, but Tyler provides the crib and he's the A mic. But in actuality, the success and the backbone of the podcast and making sure everything goes, that you see the TikToks, shorts, YouTubes, podcasts, Discovery.
That's this man right here. And I'm truly blessed to have you.
Well, like, it's me. So it's on me. Like, everything's on me. So I really don't have the luxury to voice things, and I don't have the luxury to, like, blame anyone else. So it's really, like, my own matrix that I'm trying to break out. But, yeah, I don't know. So I don't want to unalive myself anymore, which is good. But to say that this isn't the worst state of my life would be a lie. So, yeah.
You know what's crazy? I've never seen you cry. Never in my life, never in 28 years have I ever seen BrianHour be her cry.
Did you say you have to be in a vulnerable state to cry?
I don't think you have to be in a vulnerable state. I think you just have to be. It's almost like one of those things where like you could cry whether you're sad, happy, lonely, depressed. It's just a whole bunch of variables to where it's almost the only emotion that you can show at a given time that you're feeling. Like for instance, like when my mom learned that, you know, her brother passed, is that like she wasn't really crying over sadness. She was just crying of the joy because like he was like the oldest, you know, he lived a very fulfilling life in his mind, and she knows that he did. So like she was more just proud as a little sister to see how far he came and like everything that he's done for not only him, but you know, my grandma and, you know, his siblings. So that was one thing that really made her happy, just the joy and being able to, you know, call him family. And that's one thing that I thought about the most during this whole week is like, if she's crying because she loved him so much and like all the joy, not necessarily because of his passing, but just because he was there, you know, he was at all the family functions. He wasn't the nigga barbecuing, but he was always the nigga that was at the table playing dominoes, and he was always the nigga that was losing bread. So like he was one of them kind of uncles. Like to me, there's always like the three types of uncles. There's a cooking uncle, there's a nigga that play spades, and then there's a nigga that talks shit about the nigga playing spades and cooking. So that I'm actually blessed to have all three from both sides. So I mean, for me, seeing her in that realm, it was actually pretty endearing. So it just made the whole process, the funeral process, a little bit more ease on my mind, on her mind, on everybody else's mind. So it was definitely cool. That's really all I had to say about that.
I mean, to like last thing, because I don't want to get all deep in thought, but I don't think I'm afforded the luxury of crying, just because the times that where people wanted me to like really open up, I wasn't in a position to open up. But then the times that I was in the position to open up, niggas just wasn't available. And that's not because niggas don't fuck with me, but like I feel like it's more of a consistency thing. And then that's like my biggest fear. And that's probably like my biggest problem. Is not that I'm like I could start a diet today, I could like have a great day, but it's just hard for me to be consistent. And then like it's just something I discovered in myself, and it's like I'm the person that I don't want to say shut down, because I don't feel like that's the good approach. I'm the person that like I play it by how a person wants to play it. So if like I talk to a person and say like we're like trauma bonding or whatever, like one of those key words, and like we could really open up and really talk about some shit, I generally value that shit. But the moment that they shut it down, I go from opening up to sharing every single thing. And I guess it could be a Scorpio trait, but it isn't necessarily like flat out cut off like that, but it goes, I just like, it just becomes like I become more confined in a box. And I feel like oftentimes like I'm put in that box. Like I've gotten in my lifetime like 6, 7, like I'm about to end it, bro. Like talk me off this ledge phone calls, to where I can't even call a nigga and talk about like me really going through it. And I've gotten 6 or 7. And mind you know me, how I'm not gonna say I'm lazy, but I'm not afforded the same situations to where I got everything and everything's cool, or like good, like above good. So like one of those calls I remember vividly because it was like they kept telling me that they wanted me to take him to the hospital, but like my car is my car. It's always kind of have some rough patches, and I think this was like one of those rough patches. I was like, look, if I'm the last ride that you need, basically, if you can't, no one else can take you, I will take you. But I wasn't trying to take him off the strength of that. But then I was like, well, why do you want to go to the hospital so bad? Like, what's up? And then they told me that they was thinking about like ending their life. So then I had to sit on the phone talking to my dad, trying to figure out my mom, and it fucked up part of it because it was basically, it went from me being a nigga like, nigga, I'll be the last nigga to take you. I ain't trying to take you right now. I'm at the crib. I'm tired. It's like 10, 11, 12. And then I went from alert to like that, and it's just like I'm constantly being that. And it's like I've never put in a position to where I could be the one that's like in theory, like going out. I don't go out, but like going out and be the drunk friend. I'm constantly the DD. Whether niggas know that they subconsciously put me in that position, or niggas know unconsciously they put me in that position. Well, I guess that's the same thing. Or consciously put me in that position. Like like when it comes to friend groups, when it comes to family members, when it comes to myself, like I'm always put in that position. So where it's like I can't even relax, just because it's like, fuck. If no one else consistently wants to have me, I gotta have me. And yeah, it's just. But I also put myself in this position too, so it's a weird dynamic. It's like I always kind of think about it in my head because it's like damn nigga, like I want to show rage, I want to show sadness, I want to show all this stuff, but it'd be the fucking Spider-Man meme. I'm pointing back at me like nigga, you did it, you in this position, can't blame nobody else. And no one's there and like some people might pop in like, yo, you good? And then like that's that, and then it just be like, I don't know, because also it's like. I see the situation where it's like y'all might hear me and be like, well, Brian, go right, get off of social media, quit working, this, that, and the third. I don't have that luxury because if you look at it from the creative standpoint, all them niggas that do that and constantly do that for their mental health and for just a better, peaceful life have something.
Right.
Like I'm the nigga that don't have nothing. If we take all the things that I've purchased with my own money away, yeah, I don't have shit. I don't have this podcast. I don't have this mixer. I don't have my PC. I don't have my car. I don't have a place. Technically homeless. That's why I always like jokingly saying that I'm homeless, but in actuality, I'm really homeless. So that's why it'd be hard for me to go out and like celebrate with niggas because niggas work so hard to get to the position that they're at that, yeah, I want to relax and kick it with the homies. And it's like, not saying that kicking it with the homies is not fun, but in my back of my mind, I'm constantly thinking of like, how can I get myself paid and set up? How can I take care of my family? How can I take care of Tyler's family? Tyler's family treat me good as hell. And that's what I'm saying. I got loyal ass friends that like hold it down. Like Caleb hold it down. Like I needed like $50 for my phone. Caleb threw that bitch, no problem. Lopez, throw some money, no problem. Every time I go somewhere, Lopez throw me some Skrilla. He's like, yo, have fun in that city. Like, I got some good ass people around me, so that's another reason why I can't feel comfortable because I really want to take care of a lot of shit. And then so it's like when niggas just be, because there be times where I do just want to chop it up and like really have that conversation, but you know, like obviously you my best friend, and I don't want you to feel like I'm slighting anything like that, but it's just like it's more so of like. Just knowing the dynamic that we got. Like I just be wanting to talk and you just show me some bullshit so then I just don't end up talking just because it's like, I'm not going to fuck up the vibe. But oftentimes I be in that situation, and it's not just you, it be other people too. Because it's like, I do want to like talk, but like niggas think that like.
Well, half the time I don't even know what bullshit you got going on. And so,
but it'd be hard to get to that when it's like it's like, I guess it's like a reflex. Because I even like this, like, not saying for the sake of like anything, but like I was like, yo, I had to shit out so I can like set it up and we could just go. And he was like, I might. I was just like, all right. Like in my mind, I immediately go to, all right, let me not bother Tyler. But that's also from knowing you and knowing how you operate. So it's not like a fault of yours or anything like that. And I don't want to make it seem that way. But it's just like how my brain reacts to certain situations. It's like, I'm not even going to bother a nigga if this is a bother.
I don't like niggas telling me what to do. That's the thing about.
But it'd be like, yo, but I'm also looking at.
That's just me. That's been my whole life.
But it's also me looking at it as like, yo, I'm just asking for one thing. Like that's the thing. It's like it took me a lot to ask. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot. But it'd be like that.
But there's times now that I do have all this shit out. So
yeah, recently.
Don't start picking hairs. Just say.
If we being honest,
if I have.
Yeah, okay.
I have.
You've done it before.
So,
but yeah, just be like shit like that. Like that's why it'd be hard to open up. I guess I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but because I had somewhere I was going to go with it, but I kind of forgot.
For me, I'm pretty straightforward and blunt. So, like, if I need to talk about something serious, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, this is the APB." To the group, or like this is like let me chop it up with either you or K. I'm very good in that aspect.
The fuck does APB even stand for?
All police bulletin.
I never.
It's almost like if a nigga was on the search and they put out APB and like it's very important. That's what I use the term with, and I think y'all Caleb catch on. I don't know if you did, but yeah.
I never knew what APB. I always just said code red, like because of warning sign, the sirens and all that stuff. Like so, when I say code red, that's when I'm like, yo, niggas, I need to talk to you about something.
That's just lame as hell, but all right.
That's better than APB.
Yeah, I get it. But anyway, like with how I view Brian, and this is just me rapping to y'all. How I view Brian is like he's my best friend in the whole wide world, but at the same time, like throughout the time that I've known this nigga, he's just like a complex thinker, you know, as far as, you know, how he moves and like how he goes about certain things, and like he's not somebody that I could just he's not somebody that can just come out and say, you know, as far as like, you know, like yo, I need to talk to you about something. He's like more of like actually you are. So, but the way that I see this nigga is that like I have to start out with a joke or I have to start out with some bullshit before I can actually get to talking to this nigga, because that's just the way our dynamic is. But with that being said, this nigga has never really came with me on like some like, yo, I really need to talk to you type serious type shit. It's always something that like gets brought up in between a conversation that we already having. So for me, that's why I always say to myself, you know what? I've never seen this nigga Brian cry or like actually like be sad or any type of thing, because it's like he doesn't allow himself to be that. And that's why I feel like personally Brian is a stronger person than me, because of how he kind of compartmentalizes himself from, you know, us, group, friends, lovers, whatever the case may be, to really get in his head and get into his bag a little bit to figure out what the fuck he could do for everybody else. So that's why I always commend this nigga, even though he could be a silly ass nigga sometimes, but I still love him, you know, endearly.
I do not agree with that silly ass nigga part, but no, I mean, I'll tell you what it is. I'm be honest. It's like I said, you can't dump that on someone that's not ready for like emotions and feelings to be dumped on them, because everybody has their own story, everybody has their own problems. The thing of why you don't see that anymore with me in particular is because at the time I've had two people that I felt like I could really talk to and tap in about like where my headspace is and emotionally where I'm at. And the two people, ironically, like I was going to see these two people this weekend, so I'm going to say that because I felt like if I say anything else, I'd be indicting. But the two people that...
one was me.
Yeah, it's you. And...
Which you...
you told me that you wasn't like. You told me that you couldn't do it, and I'm not faulting you. I'm not faulting you. That's not why I'm saying this. What I'm saying this for is in my head I went. This is what my brain, because I mean it like unlocked something deep in my brain. I was like, damn, if my nigga, like my day one, cannot be there for me, it's over, man. Like I just took it as like I could probably never open up again
which is crazy as hell.
But what I'm saying that from the standpoint of like if I had a therapist that was the homie, it would have been you. It is you actually, but.
Even my therapist take vacations.
I know, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Is like if I can't go to T, I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm fucked. I got to deal with this internally.
You can't let that one isolated incident.
It kind of happened this week too.
Your emotions.
It kind of happened this week too.
When did it happen this week?
Because I was talking to you about. They're like, oh shit, my bad. I literally scatterbrained this shit because I've been thinking about this. That was the gateway into getting to that, and you're like, man, it's 8:00 in the morning. I ain't worry about this shit. Granted, you had your shit with your uncle, so I'm not mad at that. But like when I really said that shit was to really open up. Granted, you didn't know that either.
Exactly. So that's where I'm coming from.
But you think I was saying that shit just to say it? Like that's the way you brush it off is if I was trying to get attention. That's why I always go, oh, damn. Another incident where I'm like,
I knew that like you wasn't just saying that to say it, but at the same time I was like
yo, it's 8:00 in the morning.
What the fuck is this nigga talking about?
Yeah,
like, it's 8:00 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a whole other shit. But like, I tried to hear this nigga Brian out, bro. But like at the same time, it's like
nigga's not trying to hear it. Which I'm not mad at. Look, listen, YouTube land, podcast land. I'm not mad at Tyler not trying to hear it. It was more so the response of like if Tyler, like I said,
because you don't straight out come out and say it.
But that's what I was going to say it, and then this nigga said
before you said the opening text.
No, when I said that, after I said that shit, I was going to go in the conversation. And you're like, man, I ain't trying to hear this shit.
Why didn't you just go straight into the conversation? I would have reacted more reasonably and more admirably if you would have went to the conversation and just said what you needed to say. Especially when it's that early and I'm getting dressed.
Well, because like when I said it, I was just like, yeah, bro, like I literally been scatterbrained because the only thing that's been on my mind is literally jumping off a fucking cliff. And then when you go, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
I just don't like the bullshit.
I mean, yeah, the wordplay was crazy. Obviously, the wordplay was crazy. But like when you say, I ain't trying to hear that shit, all a nigga can do is say, okay, I can't force it on you. You my man. I'm not going to, if you're not in the mood to hear me complain, what the fuck I'm going to complain for? And you my man, so it's not like, I respect it. Like, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to force you to tell me what's, like if something's going on with you, we don't force each other to tell each other if something's going on.
Right. But at the same time, I just come out straight and tell you what the fuck is up.
Sometimes you just be kidnapping me. You're like, nah, I'm coming to get you. I was just like, all right, nigga, I guess.
Can't do the same so you can't do the same thing for me? I'm saying though, like you just like, you've known me all these years and you know that I don't like as far as like, just say it, bro. Just come out and say it. Like, I don't like all that little bullshit and like, just like, man, I got something on my mind. I was like, nigga, just go ahead and say it, bro.
Well, that prior time, I did say that.
When?
I texted you that. And I think I even called you.
You did not call me.
Yeah, because I remember you vividly, because you said it. I heard your voice, and you're like, look, you told me you love me, which was, that's how another reason I knew you were serious, because you told me you love me. It's like, I have no time for this. I cannot talk to you about this. I don't remember what you was going through at the time, but I remember you vividly saying you love me, but I got no time for that.
Honestly, forgot. I don't even remember that whole situation that is etched into your brain. But I'm not going to say that it's not something that I would have said, because I definitely would have said some shit like that.
Yeah,
I definitely would have told you some shit like that from then even to now.
Yeah, you was like, I don't got time for your bullshit. The only two things that's ever etched in my brain that niggas have said to me is like Tyler saying that, and then my dad saying that if I'm in the hospital, do not visit me. But that's another thing. See,
and this is the dynamic between me and Brian, is that like those two things are etched in his brain. Those are the things that stand out to him the most. But honestly, for me, those two things would have I just would kind of went in hindsight and just kind of been like, all right, cool. All right. I'm still do that. I'm still do me. Which is the yin and the yang, I guess. So
I just think it because it's just like
I've had more bad news than good, and I think you have too. So the way that I deal with, as far as like niggas talking to me crazy or just saying, you know what, Tyler, just shut the fuck up, bro. I ain't got time to deal with this shit. You know, you got therapists for that. So why the fuck you just talk to him? Yeah, you're right. All right, cool. It's not. It's like something that not like sketched into my brain. Like if you were
wait,
to
who would say that?
What?
Who would say that?
Somebody that will remain nameless, but like something.
Are they a friend
like,
or family?
It was a friend.
Oh, you're a dickhead.
But with that, like I said, like if you were to tell me some shit like that, I'd be like, okay, cool, all right, I'll see, I'll catch you later, you know. But like from so because that's just how I've always gone about things. Like I never really took things like that to heart unless it was from my own mama. Honestly, like even like I said, even if you were to say that, I'd be like, okay, cool, bro, I get you. I'm gonna just catch you when I'm back from my therapy session. So
I would never say that just because the way how I view things, you're gonna have conversations with your girl that you're never gonna have with me and your mom. You're gonna have conversations with your mom you're never gonna have with me and your girl. You're gonna have conversations with me that you'll never ever have with your mom or your girl that they won't understand where you're coming from like I will.
Right.
So I never want to close that door for you. So I refuse, especially, no, don't get me wrong now, not every nigga in the world has access to this, but like the niggas that got access to this, I want to make sure that stays open as long as it can.
Right.
And yeah. And I mean, not to get on that long ass tangent, but I mean, that was good. That was a good mental health talk. I felt a little slightly better talking about that shit.
I hope you do, man, because no, I'm just kidding. I'm talking shit.
But fuck, I mean, so much. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of ignorant shit.
Shit's been crazy as hell this couple weeks, I guess.
Super crazy. I don't even know which one to go into first. You got one you want to go into first? So we could go into Ja Morant, Michael B. Jordan interview, Jonathon Majors cover, 7 baby mamas, the Georgia football player, Bama hoops, Zendaya, Angelina Jolie, Kanye West, Northwest.
God damn, bro.
Yo,
I don't know, cause like, fuck, we might as well just go on the bullshit. You want to talk about the Chris Rock thing? Have you seen it yet? The special? Even if you have, we just do like a roundabout on it.
Let's actually, we could talk about it, but let's go into the Angelina Jolie thing since that's kind of on the cusp of what we literally just got done talking about. So did you hear about it?
No.
Well, so she did an interview. I want to say it was like a week or two ago. Basically saying that at a point in time she wanted to kill herself, but instead of killing herself and giving her friends and family.
Oh, yeah, about the hitman.
Yeah, so let me finish explaining it. Basically, she wanted to kill herself. I forgot the timeline of when, but instead of giving her family and friends the guilt of like, damn, could I have done more? Could I have talked to her more? This and the third. Kind of like a situation like me. She hired a hitman to kill her so that they didn't feel the guilt of not communicating with her and talking to her. But some people like thought that was ill. Some people thought that was dope. That's
some big money energy.
One, I thought it was crazy that the nigga didn't do it. I'm sure she had to pay like a late fee of not.
So what's the deposit? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
out.
Because that's one, a lot of money to make sure it looks like an accident or looks like she was murdered by someone who can't get traced back. 2, where did she find this nigga? Because I hope it wasn't no LA party. Like, yeah, I could kill you.
Black market type shit.
Yeah. And 3, how much did she pay? But 4, some people thought it was like ill and super dope, and I was like, oh, that's very noble. But at the same time, I think it's worse because, like, say you were to do something like that, I'm more angry that I don't know who the fuck would kill you rather than you killing yourself. Me personally, how do you feel about it?
When I read that shit, I was like, the first thing that came into my mind was like, she really got that money. She really got bread like that. Because first of all, I know having a hitman, that's not just something that you put on layaway. That's something that you got.
Actually, I don't even know if that's true. If all what these rappers are saying, that niggas would do it for a Louis belt. Like my young bull would do it for a Louis belt or Gucci belt. Nigga, you don't just go to like, I was going to say a hood and indict myself and get shot. If you don't go to one of these hoods.
Yeah.
You over here spending $5 million on a hitman. You could have got Shawty Low from O Block or something. I don't fucking know.
You could have had that thing put on you for free.
That's for a t-shirt, nigga. For a pack. And they would have called it a pack watch too. The Angelina Jolie hit different. Would have got them niggas from Wanted to just curve a bullet and shoot. Like,
they would have been putting her on a dress or something stupid.
A crop top.
This is crazy as fuck, man. But yeah, when I thought about it, I was like, man, wow. For somebody to feel that low to where they don't necessarily want to hurt the people around them, or they don't want to hurt the people around them to be able to go through like, oh, like who the fuck would do this? Like she was loved by anybody.
I feel like that causes more hurt than
yeah,
disconnect as far as conversation and like feelings go.
Because if I were to like plan or do something like that, rest assured, I'm making this so it ain't painful. I think I'd make it so it ain't painful. You know, for me, I have a high pain tolerance. I don't like dealing with a lot of pain anymore because I put myself through a lot of hellacious shit.
How would you make it to where it's not painful?
Just drug me, you know.
So why are you hiring a hitman for?
Cause I need, honestly, I would need him just for an alibi or something. Well, not alibi, but just
that would
like
indict that nigga. Like, yo, you was right next to the nigga.
But think about it as like a hitman perspective. You gotta be off the grid. You like for a nigga to even come to you, they gotta know something. They gotta know somebody that knows something that could get some bread for something to get to you.
Like I was talking to my mom about this, right? And then she was saying like,
you know how crazy a nigga.
First of all, like to the point, she was like, "Yo, that's fire." And then I was like, "What's up with you?"
Think the same. That's my mom, man.
But like she was like, well, because she was saying like, yeah, the idea of not putting that like pain and suffering. And I was like, no, that would be worse because I'm like, who the fuck would kill you if all you do is chill in the crib? But I was like, well, what would you do? And then she was like listening to some things, and then she was like, I might have him just hit me with a car. It's like, nigga, you know that would put him at the crime of the scene, right? Like he's a hitman. And the whole goal is to not get caught.
Nigga, like, damn, I gotta switch out the car plates.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nigga gotta take apart the whole car.
Yeah, like my mom was explaining the scenario, and I think it might have been the car. It might have been something else. I can't remember. But I was like, yo, he gonna hang up on your ass. He like, yo, shorty. Yo, what the fuck you think this is? I'm supposed to kill you.
The crazy part about it is like, this nigga probably wouldn't even have like the top option. You know, he'd be like, all right, so how you want to do this? You want you walk in and I'm on top of a bridge, or what how are we doing this? No, just hit me by a car. What?
Yo, no, just go play in traffic at that point.
Whose car, matter of fact.
Right. All this shit that you can trace back.
My shit.
Yeah, this shit's crazy.
Unless he got, you know how deep in a bag a hitman gotta be. Like he gotta have like, you really gotta have like 5 different identities, honestly.
And then that's another thing too, is like, She had to get the perfect
one. I don't know. It'd be the coldest job ever. It'd probably be a hard job.
Yo, you're really fascinated with it. But what was I going to say? Like, yeah, because my thing is like, you don't want an unresponsive hitman. Like, I don't want a nigga to be like, all right, when I get the money, you got 5 days to call me to let me know that you want me to still go through with it. I don't want a nigga to be like, all right, bet, click. Yo, star 6 7. Yo, sir.
He's like, yo. What if? What if you sent the bread to that nigga? What if you sent the bread to that nigga? He was like, so yeah, I don't know what credit card you use, but this bitch say it's expired.
Does he kill you?
Off the street. Nigga be like, so I mean, I don't know how many credit cards you got, but one of them bitches better work. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, because then that turns into a robbery. And it, that gets tough. She probably thought
all of a sudden you a victim of a homicide
and robbery and a
man. That'd be a cold way to get to heaven, man.
God might not let you in.
God be like, hey, bro, you should just gave that nigga his bread, bro.
Like, you gotta get the fuck out.
Imagine pulling out a 401k just to pay a hitman.
Because I'm assuming Angelina Jolie got everything, right? So, you know her counting. Yeah. Nigga, where did you liquidate this $5 million?
Right.
Don't worry about that shit. What the fuck?
Somebody had to have been asking.
And then you just get offed? Like, nah, bro. Yeah, that's too many signs with the... I don't know.
You got to think about it. The hitman was like, so... Do you want your money back? Because she literally... Would you still keep the bread?
Fuck yeah. Yo, because you ain't think about it like this, too. Is like how she pump faked. She could have been like with this story. She could have been like, yeah, I hired a hitman to kill me because I didn't want to kill myself. Da, 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 da. And then somebody could have been like, nigga, how'd you find a hitman? She was like, oh, it was all real easy. We went to this LA party. It was in the 92 and this and the third. Da, da, da. Started real indicting niggas and niggas started putting it together. Hold on, Craig a hitman? Oh, hell no. Now she got to die. I don't want Angelina Jolie to die, but nigga, you start talking too much about this, you might have to get knocked off. But
hitman got to I would have a disconnection fee. I would.
Yeah. I would have an extra
disassociate.
So if I did it for $2 million, I would have an extra fee for that. I need a $1 million fee for cancellation. A cancellation fee.
Just in case niggas try to get on my ass. I can get out of the country real quick. Yeah, I get that. I would definitely. Would you live offshore? Would you, like I'd be somewhere.
I'd be in like Puerto Rico or some shit where there's like no tax. Or Turks. How Drake be in Turks all the fucking time with barely any tax.
Nigga, I'd be in like Greenland or some Denmark or some stupid shit.
I'm going somewhere warm and tropical, but niggas don't even got internet. They're like, yo, ain't you that nigga? They do the point and click. Ain't you that nigga that was supposed to kill? Nope. Nigga, here's $50. Get the fuck away from me.
I'm a hitman. I'll charge somebody out. If a nigga know you a hitman and they give you $50, shut the fuck up. I'm asking for some more money from the hitman. I'd be like, look, listen, I know what you do.
About to get hit, man. Like, nigga.
I know what you do. I know what type of business you in. I know what type of bag that you in. I know that you can give me a little bit more for me to shut the fuck up. Matter of fact, just run me $1 million. Just run me $1 million and you won't see me ever.
Oh, yeah, for $1 million, you going to get shut the fuck up. You like, all right, that's a bet, bro. Where you want me to meet you at?
Nigga, backdoor you like a mother.
Yeah, nigga, I'm a hitman. Like, I've already killed niggas. Like, I do this for my job.
You're like, bro, who the fuck this nigga talking?
Yeah, you think hitmen got to pay taxes?
I would think so.
What tax bracket you think they in?
One that we ain't in. One that we couldn't even fucking imagine.
So you mean to tell me instead of getting $1 million, this nigga getting 600,000? Nah, I'm pissed. I gotta kill my tax. Let me stop before I die myself. Because everybody about to die. If I gotta pay $400,000 in taxes, Like, I might be a Republican after that bullshit.
Crazy as hell. You just went crazy as hell on that.
I mean, fine. I got to pay that much in taxes.
Good red state.
We still support same-sex marriage, though.
Wholeheartedly. Love is love.
Love is love, and pain is love. And you get slapped for love, ironically. I did watch some of the Chris Rock special. I'm going to let you go first since you brought it up.
Personally, I didn't watch it yet, but I seen like clips and little pieces of it. And I saw the clip that I sent you where like he was... It sounded like it was real sour grapes. It sounded like it was more like a mixture of him venting, but you know how niggas vent. Once it's like something like that, not of the highest. We've never had anything high like that at Oscars, but like once niggas get embarrassed, they in their feelings for a while. I've seen it happen, and it just sounded like he was just like going off rip. He was venting a little bit, but he still kept it pretty conservative. Still called Will a bitch ass nigga. Said that was a bitch ass nigga shit. He said, you know, everybody been talking about your wife, this, that, and the third, August and all that, but you want to hit me?
I mean, it's a fair point.
It's a fair point. And then underneath the comment, somebody said, so you calling him a bitch ass nigga. If a bitch ass nigga slap you and you don't do nothing, then what that make you? I was like, God damn, niggas can't. So
I think I might need you to send me that, but for another reason.
So with that being said, I personally, I'm on the fence with both ends as far as like this whole year situation went. You know, I get where Chris Rock's coming from, but I also get, you know, where Will came from in the moment of time in which he slapped him.
I don't know if I'm rolling with that.
You just can't make an ass out of yourself on the grandest stage with all these white people. All this shit is escalated to the highest umpteenth.
I'm not even talking about the white people aspect. I'm talking
just talking about the grand stage of them all, like in front of every fucking body.
But no, I'm not. That's what I don't. Who gives a fuck? Oscars, Grammys, like to me that doesn't matter. The thing that mattered
it's gonna
was
matter if a nigga slap a shit out of you in the Grammys or Oscars.
No, what I'm saying is like Will Smith don't think he could get to Chris Rock. Like, this nigga know he does comedy clubs, right? Like Chris Rock is not the one like, oh, I can't wait till I see that nigga. Like to me, Drake would be harder to reach than Chris Rock. Like, do I think Chris Rock will ever be in Iowa? No, not necessarily. But like one of the bigger comedy clubs around the world, they're comedians. They always practicing their craft. Like they have to go to clubs to practice. So you're more likely to see him somewhere other than that big of a stage. And then also what he said was true. Everybody was talking about him being a cuck. And everybody was talking about, we ain't never seen no mundane shit like this where you was getting interviewed by the wife who cheated on you with the nigga that you brought in to heal, but she gave him some pussy. So by definition, you a bitch. And everybody said that. And then you had, to this point, to make an example, Chris Rock, a fellow black man. And the only thing, like, I watched the comedy special. Comedy's in a weird state for me. It's not as funny as it once was, just because, not because of the times. I'm going to get into the times later, but it's not as funny as it once was because I used to watch it so much that, like, now I kind of study the tendencies of comedians. I see how they set up jokes. I see how they kind of control the crowd. I think one of the greatest skills in comedy is, i.e. Dave Chappelle being able just to talk to the crowd where he doesn't really set up punchlines. I mean, he still sets up punchlines and jokes and stuff like that. And also crowd control in the sense of not necessarily dealing with a heckler, which is important in comedy, but the fact that you could get them, like, getting people to the point of laughing and have them do the hysterical, like, Windex laugh, like breathing all crazy and keeping them there is easy, but to get them to that point, then bring them all the way down, then get them to that point, I think is a skill. And like Chris Rock is a legendary Hall of Fame comedian, but to me, I watched like maybe 20 to 30 minutes of the special, and then I've seen a couple clips, like you said. So I didn't even get to the Will part. My thing is, like, even if that joke is in there, that they said it was in there, talking about I wanted to watch that movie that Will Smith just sort of was a slave in because I want to see him get his ass whooped. Like, that's still a witty joke. I get it because it's like, oh, it's like, for some reason, well, not for some reason, there's some valid reason there, but people feel like Chris Rock kind of has like anti-black sentiments because he made fun of Jada with alopecia. And then he made fun of, obviously, Will Smith, saying that he wanted to see a slave get his ass whooped. But at the same time, Will Smith's the one that starred in the slave movie, too, right. Which I don't know why we still making him. It's like, fuck, but come on. Like, Chris Rock is still funny. And if you don't like Chris Rock's sense of comedy, I'm not mad at that. But to act like he's not funny, to act like he's super bitter, like, niggas knew... Like, Netflix knew what they were doing making this alive. We knew what we was doing by tuning in to watch this. We still would have watched the Chris Rock special if he didn't get slapped. But the moment we watched this... You don't fuck with Chris Rock?
I don't know. He's just in that limelight where I don't think he's like... He's ha-ha funny, but he's not...
Would you say him and Kevin Hart are the same? Like one and the same.
There was a point in time when Kevin Hart was actually like black funny. Now, as far as like he's dabbled into obviously commercials, movies, and endorsement deals and everything. There's a point to where that strips away from comedy, where that strips away from the actual craft that you came in the business to do. And I think we've all seen Chris Rock and. I can name probably more movies I've seen Chris Rock in than actual comedy specials.
He's got a few, though.
I know that, but like I said, I can't name a comedy special that Chris Rock was in. I can name movies that he was in.
But how many have you seen, too?
One.
Yeah, I mean...
and it was old. It was like 90s. It was either late 90s or early 2000s.
Because Chris Rock has a few good ones. And I just think I think Chris Rock
is... actually ha-ha laughed?
The two that I'm thinking of, yeah. I think with Chris Rock, the problem is, like, he's kind of in that same realm that Kevin Hart is in, to where the antics are more funny than the comedy. But, like, Chris Rock also has great thought-provoking comedy. Like, he outside of like this one felt very pandery. Like, I feel like a lot of comedians nowadays kind of talk about the current times, and I guess comedians have always done that, but it never felt like I have to get my shit off about the current topics of the world because everybody's talking about these topics, rather than to me, like, what I love about podcasting and what I love about like humor, like especially a comedy podcast or like people who are naturally funny, like I think we're like naturally funny on podcasts, is when I listen to a podcast, I like shit that I can relate to as far as stories and their life goes. Mm-hmm. I care about the current topics, but every time I listen to an older podcast, because obviously I do it for us to listen to the shorts, TikToks and stuff like that, I can't go back to an older podcast usually for someone else's show because it dates it for me.
Right.
So it always does it. It feels unnatural because it's like, oh yeah, I remember this time. Like it's like for a split second, it's like cool, but then it gets annoying because everybody's talking about certain topics that we are like beat down to a drum.
Right.
Whereas like when you hear someone telling a story, like regardless of whoever it is, that's like their life, and I like bonding on shit like that. And I feel like that's like, to me, like Tom Segura was pretty good at like mixing and blending pretty well. Like, give me your top 3 black comedians.
I'm going. You want this in order or just like randomly?
Or just your top 3?
I'm going Hannibal Buress.
What the fuck?
It's my top 3. You asked, nigga. But
well, I'm saying like if you like Hannibal Buress, I would think you would like Chris Rock.
No, I don't like Chris Rock. But Hannibal Buress.
That's crazy to me.
Let's see.
That's also crazy that he's in your top 3. Oh.
Me, because
First one was
I just
good.
like a nigga that could, like an uncle like vibe. So I'm gonna just say Mike Epps.
Oh yeah, fuck. I forgot about Mike Epps.
Damn. To be more political, like as far as like just information, I'm gonna go DL Hughley. Either DL Hughley or I'm going. Fuck no. I don't know about Steve Harvey. I'll go Ricky Smiley. One of my favorites too.
That is an interesting ass list. I got more of a, I guess, basic list, but not really. But that's because I don't think I've ever watched specials from these people that I didn't like. I'm not going to have any of the Kings of Comedy or Queens of Comedy just because I never watched them enough. Like, I watched the movie, but I don't really remember the movie. For me, Patrice O'Neal is up there. Dave's obviously up there. Dave Chappelle's up there. And my third is where it gets tough. Because personally, I feel like I like Cat Williams more. But the more specials that Cat Williams has put out is kind of lessen to where it's not as funny. But then obviously Kevin Hart early was hilarious. Marlon Wayans is pretty good. Mike Epps is pretty good. Hannibal has had his moments. Bill Bellamy is okay. Fuck. Like, the more I'm thinking about the black comedians, I'm thinking there's some good ones out there.
Earthquake. I like Earthquake too.
Earthquake, yeah, he wasn't bad. Ari Spears is not bad too. He had a decent. Corey Holcomb had a good. There's a lot of good black comedians. This is tough. I'm trying to think of a third. At first I was gonna say Cat Williams, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll put Cat Williams. Fuck it. I'll keep my list basic. I'm kind of sad that Patrice O'Neal died. I really feel like he could have been him easily. But.
Yeah. My favorite early ones from the 90s that, like, I wish he could have lived long to see how much of an impact that he had is Robin Harris. He was one of my pops' favorites. He was one of my favorites, like, growing up listening to him. If you don't know him, he's the dad off of the House Party movies, and I know you know this shit. You probably haven't seen it, but every nigga
I know him if I saw him type of thing.
Baby Kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was definitely one of those ones that I wish he could have lived long enough to, like, for me to actually, like, see his comedy specials and understand them, and, like, just different times on how shit was back then, you know. So.
Holy shit! Speaking of the '90s, I really forgot. Like, Def Comedy Jam was really like. I really wish we had something like that now. Cause shit, I mean, Martin Lawrence was hilarious in that. Bernie Mac was hilarious in that.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Chris Tucker. I forgot Chris Tucker was a comedian.
He started as a comedian.
Yeah, like when I just
he's
thought
actually
about that.
has some funny moments. I seen, like, not recently, but it's like within, like, this decade he had a comedy special which was not too bad. I still love Chris Tucker.
I'd watch it. Oh yeah, I think I might have watched a little bit of it.
Probably still on Netflix, actually.
Yeah, I think I remember that now.
It was like his first one, like,
was he wearing a
years
suit
or something, like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I used to love comedy. I think comedy was like my favorite thing to watch. Like, I wouldn't watch a movie; I just watch some stand up. Because I think there's something to that, to where if a nigga could just, I mean, I guess we're doing it, but like if a nigga could stand on stage with a microphone and just have you laughing just off his words, like, to me, I feel like that's the purest form of entertainment because you don't need no CGI, you don't need no budget. It's just a nigga in a mic, and
right?
Some flashy clothes. I mean, you got to think of like Eddie Murphy Raw. That's iconic. Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor. Ooh, I'm gonna go Paul Mooney. I have to go Paul Mooney. I love Paul Mooney. I don't really.
God rest the dead.
I don't know.
To both of them.
Paul Mooney, I think I don't know. I think it was just a menace to society. Like, he just really wanted to make white people uncomfortable.
That's why I loved him.
That's weird to me. 'Cause I don't think I could ever go to a show like that because I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? And that's why I kind of like, not to harp on an old topic because I gotta get through some of this, like the major topics. But, nigga. Nah, fuck it. I'm not even gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm gonna leave that alone. But speaking of not leaving some shit alone, Jonathon Majors, King and Ant-Man, was the Creed villain. Did you see his Ebony cover?
I did not.
It's the one where he's wearing the like jacket on his shoulders. He has a red Scully, and he has his shirt off.
Oh yeah. I think I peeped it.
So they're saying that this is like what they try to do to dehumanize the black male, make him more feminine so that he's not as threatening. And it's kind of actually a perfect segue now that I think about it, that I did this subconsciously, because in Hollywood, every time that there's a predominantly black male figure, they do try to emasculate him by making him wear a dress. Because outside of Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams, all other black comedians have technically, the ones that have made it and like been mainstream, worn dresses. So I say all that to say that I don't feel
Tyler Perry.
I don't feel like this cover was emasculating Jonathon Majors. Like, he could have been very well a part of it. In actuality, it was a callback to anime and One Piece. And One Piece is my favorite anime of all time. And it was inspired by the character Don Quixote Doflamingo, which the irony in that, of everybody saying that he looks feminine and this is making black men look weak in Hollywood's eyes, is that Doflamingo in One Piece is the most savage villain we got. Like, he about all the smoke. He killed his fucking dad.
That nigga's about it. I ain't gonna lie.
He killed his dad because his dad moved him basically from the suburbs to the hood and got his mom sick, and she died because they didn't have the medicines in the world, and his dad wanted to do that to relate to the world, but the world was like, hey nigga, we in this position because of y'all niggas that was living in the suburbs. And then he killed his own brother. Like, Doflamingo is one of the most savagest niggas in anime, and niggas was like, nah, you a bitch ass because it's emasculating the black men. So it's like, if you even got the context of it, it made more sense. And I don't even think that covers that crazy, because, like, to me, and I feel like you might feel like this, but obviously you can speak for yourself. I don't feel like, outside of being in a dentist's office or a doctor's office, I don't feel like I really looked at magazines to the point where I feel like it would be an influence to me. Like, are we really scared for our kids looking at this cover? Granted, they can see this cover easily because of social media, because of niggas felt some type of way about it and wanted to talk about it and this, that, and third. But why do niggas feel like what Jonathon Majors is wearing, or like niggas who paint their fingernails, or niggas that have man purses? I mean, you have one. Like,
wholeheartedly.
Why do niggas feel like that's emasculating men to the point to where they feel like there's no good men around? Or like male leaders?
Niggas don't like seeing other niggas comfortable in their skin. Because I don't know if it's something that, as far as like a trigger for them, or like something that they just don't like to see. You know, it's like I told you like about like a month or two ago. Some niggas just like to see shit burn. Like, as far as like just being just everybody. Some people just like hating. You know, it's in them to do it. Like the Dave Chappelle player haters ball. Like, the niggas just they itching just to hate or talk about some shit.
So are you at all worried if your son sees this cover? Like, do you feel like the powers that be, you'd be worried like about your son feeling like they want to be more feminine, I guess?
No. Because has a father. Hopefully, I'll get to that that gracious gift one of these days. Has a father. My job is to provide and protect, and also love and nourish. With loving and nourishing comes with who they are, and how they feel, and how comfortable that they are in their own skin. And if I did that for them, if I provided everything that I can for them as far as being loved, being nurtured, being able to be comfortable in their own skin, being able to talk to me about any fucking thing that may go on in their life, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. I lived a perfect life as a daddy. I'm cool. I'm fine. You know, I feel like there's no. Obviously, there's no easy way to prepare for parenthood or be a dad, but I feel like there's just some shit that's so simple that could just be human nature, and it could just be common sense. That, you know, it should just come naturally just to love your child for whatever they are. You know, whatever that they're into, whether it be, you know, same sex or whether it be different. I really don't give a damn, you know, as long as they're happy, then I'm happy, and I'd be truly blessed if one day I get granted with, you know, having a child of my own.
I just feel like,
so we could talk shit about Brian. No, I was talking shit.
I just feel like I don't think my son is going to be questioning his masculinity from the pictures. Because it's a magazine cover, and I don't even feel like they look that crazy, especially if
honestly,
even if you take out the Doflamingo thing, if you just strictly look at it from the artistical standpoint of a magazine, I think magazines are like looking different.
It's a good photo,
but I mean, like, to me, I've had the luxury of having good male role models in my life. So maybe in a world where you don't have the good male role models, like if someone's like a single mother and like she's raising a son, maybe there's a world where you could possibly see where this could be the detriment, because she can't really explain the like men mindset and stuff like that. But even then, like, every person that's been a single mother has had men in their life to where they could be a good influence on the kid. And it feels like as long as the influence is good, like, I don't, like, there's plenty of male shit that your son still need to be taught. Like, if niggas don't know how to change a tire or don't know any sort of tech savvy type shit or any male type of things that he could protect and provide for his family, then that's more alarming than if he has a man purse or nails painted or whatever have you. I don't think I'll do it. Maybe I'll rock the fanny pack just off the sense of like,
it's convenient as hell. You ain't got to worry about shit in your pocket. You know, you ain't got to worry about, you know, smashing your card in your wallet or whatever. You ain't got to worry about sitting on your car keys or whatever, triggering off the alarm. Trust me, this has happened countless fucking times. I have the little man purse, and I love it. I love it wholeheartedly. I keep my phone in there. I keep all the shit that I need on a going out basis. You know, I keep eye drops in there. I keep 2 sets of contacts in there. I keep my chapstick in there. I keep a lot of shit in there. A charging pack in there.
I just think it's.
I'm telling you guys all this within like confidential things, because best not rob me.
I just think
some bullshit that's in my bag.
I think it's more so like a trend.
For me, it's convenient. I don't give a fuck about what anybody else uses it for.
Yeah, but it's trendy now. Like the red boots. Like, you niggas love stupid shit, and you love shit that's.
Niggas love Astro Boy boots. I might get some Astro Boy boots. I got a fit right now in this closet that'll prove otherwise.
I might fuck with you less because they about 300.
So,
but
I spend more on tickets.
I say all that to say, I think
I fuck around and get you those.
I would not wear them. I say that to say that my question in masculinity and where the male species is going, just strictly talking about males, my guard will be up, and where I have a different stance is if niggas start. I think it was a Boondocks episode, but like when Riley started wearing like a crop top and like a mini skirt, like if niggas start doing that, it's like, hey fam, we gotta sit down and have a discussion. But until then, I don't know. I'm not easily influenced, and then also on top of that, it's just like niggas gonna do what niggas gonna do.
Niggas was suspect for them rap names in there too. Niggas was calling themselves Thugnificent.
I feel like that wouldn't be a bad one.
Gangsterlicious.
Gangsterlicious would be worse than Thugnificent. Right? That's what I thought she was gonna start off with.
Crazy as hell.
But yeah. But they're also speaking of something that's kind of sassy and a female trait, I guess.
I'm calling a grown ass man Gangsterlicious.
The Michael B. Jordan interview. I'm sure you've seen it. It's literally been everywhere. It was a premiere of Creed. I think it was in New York.
It's crazy. I love L'Oreal too.
L'Oreal was interviewing him, and I guess they went way back, and he kind of pressed her in a sassy kind of manner, like, oh, didn't you call me corny? And she was trying to say that, no, she didn't call him corny on their platform. They still handled the interview like adults, and it was still some professionalism there. But I'm here to say, oh, I got some hot takes. I wish I had some gunshots too. I'm here to say that Michael B. Jordan was not corny in handling that interview. And even if people want to say, she didn't even say it, so he looks goofy for even saying that, she said that she knew this nigga. So if you, by definition, if you know this nigga and make it known that you know this nigga, and we go way back because we went to high school together or middle school, wherever school it was, doesn't matter. If we went to school together, at that point, if you know me and you don't deem me as corny, defend my fucking honor if someone's talking about me in a bad light. And then on top of that, you called him corny because his name was Michael Jordan. Then you called him corny for carrying headshots.
That's little shit.
At the time, I think he was in The Wire. So he was still one of them niggas that was up, and it made sense of why he carried his headshot.
I think he was a teenager too, matter of fact.
So if it was in high school, yeah, he was in The Wire. So it's like he was on one of the most popular shows in the world that some people argue is the best show ever.
It's a crazy feat by itself. And
then you still calling this nigga corny. And then I hate to break it to you, internet, but I'm on some hot take shit. If the whole dynamic of the relationship is you just constantly teasing me or roasting me or whatever, that's not a fucking friendship. Like, be fucking for real. Right. So I can't gain nothing off of that. That's what I'm saying. I just see you as an asshole. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's like a nigga saying, boy, you look the same as high school. Shut the fuck up. Like, what am I going to do with that? You know, like, to me, I don't think he was corny at all. And I hate that narrative. I still get that, by the way. Of corny. Like, I always hated it because in what context, right? So there's two different contexts. So like the context of the shorty that called Michael B. Jordan corny. I figure out what makes him corny. Is, well, she says he's corny because he only dates white women. You can't help who you date. You can't help who you like. I don't know if I'm rolling with that. Only because you choose like white women. Yeah, but corny? No, that's just choosing who you want to associate with, or who you want to. But it depends. Depends. It's hard to say you like you for. How do I want to word this? Because it's kind of corny. The dude that says like, oh, I'm all about the black issues, the black struggle. I want to help all my brothers and sisters, and then they go to their white wife. Like that one nigga off of Don't Be a Missus. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. That's how it kind of be looking when certain niggas move a certain way. Now, I'm not saying you have to be with a sister to support black issues, but it'd be like some things is a time and a place. Like I heard a nigga took his white girl to a black museum during Black History Month about seeing this like African exhibit type of thing. To me, that's crazy as hell. I would never do no shit like that. That's just me though. This is me. I'm cool with white women. I've talked to white women in the past, but I would not do that shit. And she better not ask me that shit. I look at her like she crazy as hell. Like, nigga, this is time and place. Dog, what the fuck? And like, because like even like RG3. I know you follow RG3 on IG.
I do.
He be making the craziest TikToks with his wife. He happy.
He happy. I give him that.
I'm not mad at someone being happy.
Wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
But RG3, I can see a world why somebody would call him corny.
Raccoon.
Because also another thing that didn't help too was the Bronny James thing. He went too insane with that one. Like, old bitter people are mad at Bronny James for taking a white woman to the prom. I was like, all right, yeah, RG3. This hit home, huh?
That used to be my nigga too.
That hit home. And then like so I could see a world where you call someone corny for dating outside of the race and then trying to be so supportive of the race, especially when the race holds it down. And everybody's like, oh, well, why does it matter who you date? It kind of do. Because if we being honest, if
you're judged by the company you keep.
Right. And then if you dating someone that doesn't look like, I'm not saying they have to look like your sister or your mother or your cousin, but like you get what I'm trying to say in the gist of like, if you don't date someone that knows the problems and struggles that you go through as the color of your skin, she ain't never going to get it. No matter how much you tell her, how much you teach her, how much she down for the culture, she could always leave. You can't. Because you got sisters that look like you got cousins that look like you got nieces, nephews, all that shit. Like, we got family that look like us, for us, and will always be part of us. That's why people get so upset when like certain races use the rap group or use the culture for their benefit, because they can always bounce and never come back. So that's the way. Well, that was the context in which the co-host to L'Oreal called Michael B. Jordan corny. And then the other way you could call someone corny is because they're a good straight up dude who likes anime. And the thing I hate about, not anime, just geek culture in general. The thing I hate about calling someone like a geek or a nerd, it really pisses me off, because
it's really callous, honestly.
All it really is like a nigga being a fan of something that he really likes.
And that's corny.
Because, like, you can say the same about niggas that like baseball. You can say the same about niggas that like football. You can say the same about niggas who like movies.
I like baseball.
Well, I'm saying, like, in the sense of, like, calling someone a geek or a nerd, it's like, it's just a fan of, like, culture and certain things. Like, some of these niggas be running, like, grown-ass men be wearing face paint to a football game, whole body covered. It's like, bro, you technically a nerd, like, when you think about it.
Niggas was dressed up, has a whole car at Ford Field.
I believe it.
Motor and everything.
And then niggas won't say no.
Nigga had a big ass Lions chain. I was like, all right, bro. I see how you rocking. Hey, I praise him. I dapped that nigga up. I was like, hey,
but
bro.
See, that's what I'm saying. I would look at it as a fan. I wouldn't call him like a nerd or a geek or anything like that.
Hell no, man. That's
and then
cool.
like another thing too is like niggas will be like, oh, you like anime, you like cartoons, so that makes Michael B. Jordan corny because he's a nerd. Nigga, damn near everybody in the world like Family Guy, like American Dad, like American Dad, King of the Hill, like Adult Swim, South Park,
niggas
Rick and Morty,
watching Simpsons,
like, bro,
on like the 75th 100th season.
It's like, yo, bro, you realize that you like animations, right? Like, you like anime. It's just we like Japanese anime, you like American anime. That's literally the only difference. So what the fuck are we talking about? So I hate when people put corny on certain things, because it's like the only people that, and another thing too, to go back to the like race dating and stuff like that, is like the niggas who put corny on shit be us.
Yeah.
When it don't have to be corny at all. Like, it's okay to be normal, my nigga. I promise you, it really is. What, like, yo, he corny because he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't date this, he don't date that. He could have. I can't speak for Michael B. Jordan, because obviously he's voted like sexiest man alive in one of the magazines.
I can't compete with that.
I can't compete with that. But I've been in situations to where, like, I don't discriminate at all. I would love to date a sister, but it just never aligned to where I was feeling this shorty and she was feeling me and we had similar interests, or like it just gelled well to where it worked together. It's never been that way for me, unfortunately. That's not me saying I wouldn't date a sister, but
yeah,
it hasn't been that case. So I don't want to be called corny just because I haven't had the opportunity to date a sister, because I would.
The cards lined up right with me in a moment, but that's here or there. But yeah,
but I'm also talking about the spectrum too, because I feel like that's another thing. Because niggas say they want to date a sister and then end up dating a light skin. There's nothing wrong with light skinned women. I fuck with light skinned women, but as far as I'm not a colorist, like I would date a beautiful black dark skinned woman, but I just haven't had that luxury because of things haven't aligned. Because me personally, my dick don't discriminate. That wasn't shade towards you. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general because like I've had homies in the past who like we be just talking, like nigga shit, like locker room talk. And like, I'll date a black girl, and then they immediately always point to a light skin, and I'm like, nigga. But I'm like, I be showing her, I'm like, yo, there's beautiful dark skinned women.
Yeah, man, I'm peanut butter complexion. You get the skin color. Like we're genuine. We're good chocolate peanut butter complexion. I don't think we're dark skinned, but like I said, we're like that.
I was just bigging up dark skin, and you.
What?
Why you just shit on it like
what?
You said we're a good complexion.
Yeah, as black males, we are a good complexion. We're good.
You're still shitting on dark skin. I was just bigging up dark skin.
Oh, I get what you're saying now.
And then you're like, yo, but we're a good complexion.
I apologize to my niggas out there. My
This nigga got it, bro.
I'm sorry.
Dude.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
But now they gonna call us corny. They're like, yo, y'all don't fuck with sisters.
I love my niggas, man.
This nigga said my niggas. What, bro? What is Buddy on?
Oh my God, hey.
So
it's all laughs here at the Tyler Brian Hour.
Right to shit 5 stars. Do you feel like he was corny in what he did?
No. No, not really.
I mean, if you want to say it was corny to come at a woman like that, I'm not mad at that. But I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna get hard body.
And one of those aspects where, like, if you're feeling yourself, it's your premiere, you're on the red carpet,
and you directed this movie too,
and a shorty that like.
From high school?
From high school. It's like, oh yeah, you called me corny, right?
Yeah,
I'm airing that. I'm showing ass.
Look, that's what I was gonna say in the camera. I'm gonna get in the camera and look at you. Any nigga that's what I'm saying. If this shit blow up, if the Tyler Brian Hour blow up and it gets to a point where I want it to go and where I think it could go, and niggas come back to me talking about, oh, his new beat could do that
weird.
shit, bro, I'm on your ass. You called me weird before. You called Tyler weird before. I remember when niggas used to do that shit. But yo, why you kicking with Tyler? Tyler weird. I think niggas be individuals, bro. I don't look at niggas like they not themselves. Like, I appreciate niggas for being themselves. So to me, y'all niggas weird, because y'all always wanted to group up and think, man, I can't wait. I'm showing my whole ass, like, because y'all niggas, there's definitely niggas that didn't believe in the dream. Talk about you need to do this, you need to do that. Man, fuck out of here.
Lame ass nigga.
Yeah, I don't think Michael B. Jordan's corny. Just think y'all niggas need to do better, man. I don't know.
I think y'all just need to get happy.
That part too.
Get happy, man. See a therapist, man. Work on being a better person for you, your family, and the others around you. Well, it'll do wonders for yourself.
I will say too, like, Shorty did double down on the corniness, and then she also called Nick Cannon corny.
At least she stood by it. You can't be mad at somebody that stands by what they say.
True.
So,
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is by that. But rate the shit 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere on your streaming, whatever your stream desires.
So Zendaya is supposed to be getting $1 million per episode in the next season of Euphoria.
I don't watch Euphoria anyway.
Damn, you don't watch it?
Hell no, I don't watch that shit.
That shit good. Shit gooder than a bitch.
Bro, you watch it because everybody else watch it.
No.
Yeah.
I got put on season 1.
So you watched it because somebody else watched it.
But I got put on before season 2.
You got it.
Season 2 is where it got hyped.
You got it.
So I was able to watch it live with all the other niggas.
All right, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you followed me for
It's cool, bro.
when I got on to it.
All right, cool.
But, and I also liked it.
Well, you, bro.
Except what was crazy is, like, so much wild shit was shown during season 1, and niggas watched that shit at work. And that was, I was playing fucking, like, Code Red with my fucking phone. But, so I ain't gonna lie. So Zendaya plays a great crackhead and a drug addict on that show, and she, like, smokes that role. My only thing with that is, like, I don't know. I feel weary about the show. I don't know what she was getting paid before, but to go from whatever she was getting paid before to $1 million, not saying she don't deserve it, not saying she don't kill that role, but I just think from a budget standpoint of, like, damn, if you getting $1 million, old boy's getting popular, Sydney's getting popular. There's a lot of people that's becoming self-efficient stars that could fuck up the budget and could fuck up the show.
Didn't old boy just get into a him run?
Yeah.
Like, he on the run right now as we speak?
Well, allegedly, but because you get sued for saying that shit. But, yeah, he might need some Skrilla shit if he, you know what I'm saying? So
allegedly.
So, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, get your bag. Like, the way I've always looked at contracts and things like that, like, obviously we're not up there yet, but, like, if eventually we do get to a point where we're, like, well off, anything that I do, I'm going to try to accommodate for what I think I can make in a year. So, in theory, say, like, if I could be self-efficient off $100,000 a year, every time, like, if I was, like, an artist, if I was an actor.
They say you should split that money in half.
What do you mean?
So, like, the way I always budget myself, you take your budget, you know, anything that you might need within, like, a week or, you know, 2 week span, whenever the next time you get paid, you take that budget that you think you need and you split that in half. And that's what you go off of. That's what you live off of.
What I got to do with getting paid, though?
You got it, bro. I get it.
No, what I'm saying is, if I think that I could live off a year with 100,000, that's what I want to get paid. If that makes sense, that's what I was trying to say.
They gonna cut your shit now.
Hell no, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying. Like if I like, that's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, you think you need this, nigga?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if I get up to a point to where I'm successful and I'm well off and I'm like somebody, whatever. Like if I was an artist, every feature, what I'm charging for features is 100,000. Like if I can live off a year off 100,000, every time I do a feature on a song, that's my rate.
You ain't doing a base price, like a base discount?
Nigga, that is the base price. Nigga, that's what I'm saying. No, that's not crazy.
I know it's not crazy.
But what I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to allude to is, like, every time I go out to do something, I want it to be where, like, if I stop today, I'll be good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what Zendaya feels like. Because I don't know what the fuck show she gonna get on next. Your rate is $1 million. But
she already getting back off of Spider-Man.
That's what
you know, Spidey's little homegirl.
Mm-hmm.
So the bag is not stopping.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but shout out to her though. I ain't mad at it.
Definitely.
So did you see dude with 7 baby mamas?
I did not.
So there was a guy going around on TikTok that
like boozy.
He has 7 baby mamas with 7 kids, and he told all these women that the only reason that he has 7 baby mamas with 7 kids is because he told these women he did not want to have kids, and they ended up keeping the kid. He told them that he would pay for the plan B, he would pay for their abortions, but he did not want to have kids. So he knowingly, I'm assuming that he disclosed this information. Because I have a totally different argument if he did not disclose his information and he led these women on. But his whole point was basically, why should I have to pay for these kids when I told the woman from jump that I do not want to have these kids? Even though we did lay and have intercourse, we did have unprotected sex, and he did nut in them. And I get what everybody's saying, and I get the woman aspect of, like, nigga, you could have just wore a condom. But he could have got a vasectomy. Like, I understand all the women's perspectives, but if in the sense of the sake of the argument, because he went crazy at that. Like, there was some shit at the tail end where he was like, basically, why would I want to have a kid with these women if they're willingly to lay, like, they're wanting to lay down with me and open their legs to me and this and that. Like, he started going crazy at that.
That's wild.
I'm gonna cut it off right here for the sake of conversation and the sake of argument. I don't agree with all the shit he said at the very end, but I'm only talking strictly from the standpoint of if he told these women he did not want to have kids. I know the action didn't meet that, but if he was honest from jump, one, my question to you is, why don't people believe honesty? And then two, my question to you, is he a deadbeat?
Is he a deadbeat?
Like, he said to these women that he will not be in the kid's life because he did not want these kids.
I just had a conversation with the shorty about this a couple days ago about, like, you know, that one meme on Twitter where, like, unpopular opinion, like, it was like a cartoon, like, all the swords are out on this nigga and he's just sitting there just chilling. Mm-hmm. And it had something to do with this conversation, and, like, she was like my unpopular opinion, if a male has intercourse and the woman gets pregnant and he doesn't want to have the baby, then that should be his choice. He doesn't want to have it. They don't want to have it. But also, it's her body. Mm-hmm. If she wants to keep it, she's going to. If she wants to get rid of it, she's going to. And there's not a damn thing you could do about that.
That's literally what his sentiment was, because he was like, if it's her body, her choice, it's my life, my choice.
It's tricky. But going back, is he a deadbeat?
I say no. But I'll explain before y'all niggas kill me in the comments. I'll explain why I say no.
What makes a deadbeat a deadbeat? A person that's trying to be a father and they fail, or a person that just doesn't want to be in their life whatsoever? Because I've had people that try to be in their kid's life, and little twists and turns down the road, and it comes to a situation where the mother just doesn't want them around the kid, and but he's trying to give her money, child support and stuff like that, and that's, people still consider that a deadbeat. I don't know why. That's weird. But at the same time, I've seen niggas where they ain't in there at all. To me, I feel like that's a deadbeat. Because for you to make a child and for you not to have any type of relationship or just not have any type of feeling for your own seed and not want to be a part of that, you really ain't shit.
I mean, for the argument's sake, I'm with you as far as what you just said, but for the argument's sake, I think we need different definitions, because the dude in the first scenario you put out there of the guy trying, he's trying to pay the bills, he's doing the best he can to be in an active role in the child's life. I wouldn't call him a deadbeat. I don't know what you would call him, but I wouldn't call him a deadbeat. And then situation two of the guy who knowingly does not want to be a part of the child's life, has made that very clear to the woman. The woman proceeds to have the kid, and he's still on a sentiment of nah, I ain't gonna be in that baby's life. I ain't gonna be in that little nigga's life. I don't call him a deadbeat because he was honest from the jump. I don't know what term you would call him, and if that the technical definition term is a deadbeat. I think there's levels to deadbeats.
Yeah.
If you want to say dude is a level 1 deadbeat in the first scenario, and then you want to say a guy, because to me, the guy that never wanted to be there is not worse than the guy who actively goes in and out. I'd rather you either A, all the way in,
or you just not there at all.
B, not there at all. Then C, you somewhat there, somewhat not. Somewhat there, somewhat not. You fuck with a kid's psyche in the sense of they think they're gonna have their dad in their life. They think they're gonna have this rapport with their father in their life, and then they never get that because the father keeps pump faking. I've seen that personally happened to homegirls of mine and their kids, and that shit looks hella nasty. So I'm not gonna call dude with the 7 kids a deadbeat, because at some point in time they tie in together in the sense of like, you have to believe Mill, honestly. Like, at what point in time, like, it's like the internet wanted to shun this dude for being a piece of shit and all these different characteristics that like he's kind of a savage for, but at the same time, why not just believe the nigga? Like, we so quick to make everybody the hero when somebody has to be the villain. And some niggas openly accept the role of the villain, and you still don't want to believe the nigga is a villain. And I'm not calling him a villain in the sake of this standpoint. I'm calling him, like, he actively made this decision to do this. He's also actively had women make the decision to do that. I can't, because I was talking to my grandma about this, and I put the scenario of, like, say you had the son that did this to the women, and then say you had the girl that was one of the baby mamas with another dude in this situation. Like, you had a daughter and you had a son.
Right.
I'm more mad at the daughter than I am at the son. The son is an asshole. The son is a piece of shit. Everything you want to describe this nigga as, of course. But he actively made that choice. The daughter didn't have to be a part of that situation, but she chose to be a part of that situation. Like, don't lay and have sex with the guy who already has 6 baby mamas with 6 different kids that he's not taking care of. That's just mathematics at that point. Like, and I get it. It's like,
and he already confirmed what time it was when, y'all got together.
Yes. And then on top of that, he said he had 7 because the ones that had babies kept them. Who knows how much realistically he could have had. And it's like, even then, it's like, how much do you expect to get? Like, for the first 2 or 3 women, I wouldn't fault them. I wouldn't fault them at all. Like, especially if what he's saying is, because all I have to go off of is the TikTok. So the TikTok could be a flat out lie. He could have coerced these women. He could have been selling them a dream, talking about love, marriage, this and the third, and then
been some dirty shit.
Right. Then I have a completely different argument, and I won't argue and defend this nigga at all. But if everything he's saying is to be true, because I'm just believing this nigga for face value, because I don't know this nigga, don't care to know this nigga, and that's how he feels about certain shit. If everything what he says is true and at face value, I don't feel bad for 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because it's like, come on, my nigga, at what point are you guys going to believe this nigga? Like, you have to believe people. At some point, you have to.
Right.
Even if it's at face value, take that nigga's word for it. He's saying he do not want to be a part of these kids' life. And then I was actually listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and then I think they were talking about a point of, like, wouldn't you want that relationship and to figure out both perspectives? Because I think Joe was talking about having both perspectives is important, because his first baby mom gave him the perspective to his kid about what really happened. And then obviously when his kid got older and could understand on a man level, Joe told him his side of the perspective. So now his kid has both sides of perspective of what went wrong with mommy and daddy, which I think is kind of important.
I think that's important. I think that's good.
To stay on that point, one of the co-hosts was saying that he didn't feel the need to have that. And then Joe was like, either way, I would want to know. Because he got mom's story. He would want to know dad's story. And even if dad's story was, hey, nigga, she kept you. I didn't want you. So that's why I wasn't there.
Right.
Some people would want to know that. And then I feel like, me personally, I know it doesn't happen because it's the guy versus the girl. But if I was in a situation to where my kid's mother did not want to be a part of the life whatsoever and wanted to have this kid and this and the third, I'm not putting my kid through that. If my kid wants to actively go out there and find his mother and have that conversation of to why she didn't want this nigga, then that's a different type of situation. I'll support my kid wholeheartedly, but if the mom's saying fuck this nigga and you don't want to be part of life, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about no child support. I'll figure it out. But that's just my mindset, and like, I choose to accept fates in situations I put myself into too. But
wholeheartedly,
I don't know. I just feel like we need different names for shit, because I'm not gonna call a nigga a deadbeat. That's like, even if it's an asshole thing to do and he's a savage, he's a piece of shit, all these things you want to use to describe him, he told the truth. You gotta believe niggas. I don't know, man.
Even a nigga who's doing the bare minimum of being in a child's life, giving like $50 a month or some stupid shit like that, or like going to baseball games and going to one and not the doubleheader. You know, like just going and leaving for the other. Like,
yeah, that means a lot.
It's still something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for a nigga that just completely disregard that and just be like, hey, you know, you just gonna have to be on your own. To me, that puts a sour taste in my mouth.
Why?
As far as truth, okay, I'll put it like this. Truthfully, you can't be mad at the nigga. Morale-wise, it sucks and it's shitty. I'm just looking at him as much as that, as morale-wise. So that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, I'll even counter that. Why?
Why not?
Why does your morale go to that when you can compartmentalize and others can't?
What do you mean?
Like, you could look at it from different aspects because I think you're a person that's emotionally tapped into different shit. There's some niggas that just surface level niggas. Some niggas that will not leave the block. All they know is the block. All they worried about is the block. There's some niggas that all they worry about is getting this nut off, and I'll accept other consequences. There's some niggas that want to build a family, want to build a future.
Okay, but what the fuck that got to do with me? Like, it's just my emotions coming into play. I ain't worried about them niggas that just on the block. That could be them. That could be their life.
You just answered the question, though. You said why, but that's what I'm saying. You said, why do I have to worry about that when it could just be them niggas? That's what I'm saying. It's them niggas.
So what the fuck that got to do with me, though?
Why are you allowing yourself to feel that for that situation if it's them niggas and them niggas got worried about it?
Because from an overall view, outside looking in, I can't say that they shitty.
But I'm not saying you can't say that it's shitty. I'm saying you're saying how you feel about it.
That's how I feel about it. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying like but that's what I'm saying. It's like if them niggas over there ain't worried about shit, you don't have to worry about shit over there. It could just be them niggas. Because the way I looked at this situation, I'm like, that nigga telling the truth. That nigga telling the truth.
We both obviously have an opinion on it. So
yeah, opinion's fine, but I don't have no feelings towards it.
I kind of do. I don't know. It's just a wholeheartedness in me. I'm emotionally inept, and you know,
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I ain't gonna waste my emotions on that because I'm just because it also is the internet. So the way I see it, I'm just like, oh damn, so wild.
Because I see it. I think about it as like that could be one of your best friends going through that shit, you know, or like best girlfriend, like girlfriends going through that shit. So that's how I always set my mind into, and I don't know. It's just how I feel. I'm all out of water. I'm all out mineral water.
I don't know. I guess I just look at it like that too because there's going to be some new bullshit to next week. So I'm like, I can't keep up emotionally. I feel like I'd be fucked up if I really put some emotion behind a lot of this shit. Because you know it to be true too. Like, it's going to be some ignorant shit. Speaking of some more ignorant shit, actually, this ain't ignorant. This is actually a good question. So, Kanye West last year said that he didn't want Northwest on the internet, and then this past week, Northwest was making TikToks with Ice Spice because I'm guessing
dressed up as Ice Spice.
Mm-hmm. And how do I feel about this? Because I guess it's a weird dynamic, right? Because if you're co-parenting, speaking of parenting, especially not being in the same household, you got to find middle ground. And Kim Kardashian obviously made a name for herself off the internet. So did Kanye. Kanye used the internet to get his free speech off and do all types of wild antics on the internet. They're both internet celebrities. They're both celebrities that will always be in the tabloids and publicity. So I get and I understand why you wouldn't want your oldest daughter, which I don't know how old she is, but
9.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to make a guess. She's 9 years old. I get it. I understand it. And then it's also different because so many people can have access to her. It's a scary fucking place. But it's actually a scary fucking place because somebody posted that Northwest is going to end up like Ice Spice. And then they posted a picture of Ice Spice and then the alleged sex tape picture. And I'm like, yeah, she's fucking 9. That's nasty as hell. So I'm not mad at Kanye West for saying that he doesn't want his daughter on the internet. But how do you feel that Kim Kardashian is letting her have a TikTok and then also letting her dress up as Ice Spice? Because, Ice Spice telling these boys out here that they a munch. And they be fucking. I think in that TikTok where she was dressed as Ice Spice, she says something about touching her body or something like that along those lines. I don't want to misquote.
No, I don't even want to think about that. But just keep it on like as far as that situation goes. I really just keep it on a surface level of she's a kid. She's 9 years old. Like there's niggas that we looked up to or like we idolize or like that we try to dress as still kind of to this day, and as far as that goes, I just it's just kid shit, man.
I mean, I don't know if I'm rolling with that.
I used to want to be the blue Power Ranger so bad. I used to get the morph for all types of shit.
Yeah, but there's a difference between blue Power Ranger and Ice Spice. Big difference.
They both saving the world.
Nigga, huh?
I got you all the way off.
Nigga just like sound bites and shit. But, I mean, yeah, because I don't blame Kanye. But at the same time with Kanye West, I don't want to say it's his fault, but it's kind of his. You good?
It smelled like someone was burning over there. I forgot the candle was on.
But like, I don't want to blame Kanye West, but at the same time, bro, you married into the Kardashian family. Like, these are moguls on the internet and TV, so like they're gonna use the shit out of that to build publicity and TV.
Right.
It's a weird, slippery slope.
You also can't tell a mom how to mom. It's her kid too. I mean, yeah. I mean, when you think about it like us, there's shit that we've seen or like heard to where like our parents arguing and them niggas really ain't listening to each other. Like my dad can tell, like, you see what this nigga doing? Like, you don't tell him to go with Brian and all this shit like that. Don't like as far as like the car shit. I told mom about that. We reminisced because we were like going through photos and shit like that, and like, fucking. For those of you who don't know, back when Brian first got his license, he took my mom's car. He took my mama's car. He straight up took the mama's car. I was just in there for the ride. I didn't think he was going to do that.
How I get the keys then?
I didn't think he was going to do that.
How I get the keys then?
Nigga, they were on the table, and it was free game anyway. But
I didn't know they were on the table.
So like he took the keys.
I had a permit, and I went in his room, and this nigga brought the keys.
Out of my mama's consent, he took the keys.
I didn't know that.
And
unbeknownst to me.
Not even 15, 20 minutes later, we walking through the bitch. We walking through Merle Hay Mall. I get a phone call or a text that said, you and Brian got about 5 to 10 minutes to get my car back here.
You got a phone call because we ran into somebody. I think we even ran into Sean. I wonder if he remembers that. But like, I dapped him up, talked to him, chopping it up, and then you over here doing this shit. I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck? What? Like, we gotta go.
You would have thought a nigga saw John Wick in the fucking
because you like
in the mall or something.
You saw John Wick?
Stupid as hell.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, we gotta go. I don't know if I'm rolling with that because I feel like.
And then later on, my pop was like, "See,
I don't know if I'm rolling with that in the sense of like, I feel like the internet is one of the non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Especially when you're Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. It's like, my nigga. I get it. Northwest probably does want to make TikToks, but she could wait. Because if you look at like
kids be kids, man. You know,
no,
not in that aspect, but like let them be kids. Like, why the fuck do you need a TikTok for? At 9 years old, I didn't get my own cell phone until I was at least 12.
I think I was like 14, 16. Like, but even then, like, because like she's dressing like Ice Spice now. Like, come on, my nigga. It's Ice Spice too. Like, I like Ice Spice. I hope she wins. I hope she's the next megastar in New York and all that shit. I don't have no issue with her. I don't want my kid. I don't want my daughter dressing as Ice Spice. I don't want my daughter calling niggas munches. I don't. Especially my 9-year-old daughter. Like, what are we talking about?
Right. I get it.
I don't want my 9-year-old son to be a munch. Like, what the? Like, I might give this nigga a noogie. You come around the corner talking about he a munch.
Dump that nigga in there.
Yeah. Flick,
like
nigga. Hell wrong with you? Because there's some shit that, like, when he's older, he could discover. When, like, also, like I said, like, just seeing that tweet of somebody said, this is how Northwest is going to turn out. Like, bro, niggas on the internet got no souls. I don't want my daughter to see that shit. I really don't. Especially if she don't got to see that shit.
Definitely. No, that's a weird, outlandish thing to say about a 9-year-old.
And then there's also like the pot calling the kettle black with Kanye, saying he don't want his daughter on the internet, and then this nigga say the most mundane shit you could possibly think of on the internet, and potentially getting blocked from everything and losing businesses. But at the same time, nigga, you married into the. But I mean, shit, Kim could think the same thing. Like, nigga, you out here wilding the fuck out. And you say you don't want our daughter to be on the internet. Maybe I showed the daughter. Like, maybe there's a world where Northwest is just posting TikToks and then Kim takes her phone. There's a world where that exists.
Right.
Or maybe Northwest only has the ability to get certain apps on the phone because Kim knows the password or something. Like, who knows? There's plenty of different shit that she could do and put out there, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of nasty.
As hell.
But like I said, it is co-parenting. There's some things that you'll have to, like, there's cultural differences, and there's certain things that, like, how you was raised and how I was raised could be two totally different ways that we have to come together in order to raise this child. That you have to learn as you're raising a child, which is also scary.
All I know is just about, as far as my understanding goes and what I saw, black parents, they really don't co-parent. They just, whatever the parent does or whatever punishment is, the other one co-signs after the fact. Like, my dad was always a co-signer after the fact.
Or they do a real good job of good cop, bad cop. My parents did that shit a lot.
Like, nigga, you know you wasn't supposed to do. Shut the fuck up.
Like, my mom be cool. My only problem is, like, the way that my house is set up is, like, we all have our own separate room. And my mom is
you gotta see one upstairs, other one downstairs.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Not even that. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it'd be my dad pissed off than my mom. So
mine was on the couch by the door, nigga.
Yeah. But, like, so the worst.
Yours was, like, back there hidden.
But, like, the worst part about it is, like I said, my dad would be the one that'd be pissed off 9 times out of 10. So, like, if he's pissed off, like, nigga was like Jaws in the water, like the whole bottom floor of the house. I couldn't go. Like, niggas couldn't take a shower, niggas couldn't eat, niggas couldn't really do shit without having to hear this nigga stomping and slamming doors. I'm just like, yo, bro, I'm like, come on, my nigga. But
see, that nigga would have been doing.
Stop. We're not doing it. Not doing it on this podcast.
All that who went all.
Stop.
Oh shit, man.
So what age do you think you're gonna let your kids be on the internet?
If the internet is still really much of a thing, when I
mean, it ain't going nowhere.
What?
It's not going anywhere.
It damn sure ain't going nowhere, but you know,
I'm saying at least
social media's come and go though.
Shit, there'll be another one.
Um,
I'm saying 16 or 17.
I'm saying high school. Well, like freshman year. 14, 15. Because that's when I started getting rowdy.
Because a lot of these kids, too, another scary part is a lot of
I had
these...
that sidekick and that BlackBerry. Niggas couldn't tell me shit.
Damn, nigga, Pete like a motherfucker. Sorry, audio listeners. But the scary part is a lot of these kids nowadays grew up with the internet. So they've been on the internet every facet of the term.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't want my kid to have that. I don't even think I'm going to post my kid like that. I ain't going to be a full-ass adult by the time I post. But damn, Brian had a son.
They going to think... No, I'm not even going to go there.
Then they're going to say some off-the-wall shit.
Treat you like... Oh, I ain't trying to get sued. Keep it PG. Keep it PG.
So we got to talk about these athletes, but let's talk about the college ones first before we get to the main subject. I'm probably gonna title it to Ja Wick, but so did you see what happened with the Georgia player? The defensive tackle that was in a street race with a teammate. I think the teammate had a woman in the car. They ended up crashing and dying in the street race. And I think they're trying to charge the Georgia player with street racing and murder. Some shit like that. Something crazy.
Damn, really?
Yeah, because he was street racing. But I feel like that's kind of petty just because it's like the player that's still alive kind of becomes the fall man. And I think that's kind of nasty work to put him in that perspective of like, yeah, you gotta go to prison for murder. I don't think it's murder, but it's something along the lines basically where he's going to prison because of the deaths of them. And I think they ran into someone else. Like I think they ran into somebody's car that was like a parked car. And that person ended up dying. So the Georgia defensive tackle is pretty much getting in trouble just because of he's the only one that's alive, but he was street racing. So he should get in trouble for street racing, but I just feel like it's kind of nasty that you get in trouble because you're the only one that's still there type of situation.
Right. I just read something that says, shouts out to Will Smith for smacking the nigga the moment he got disrespectful. I usually don't realize I should smack someone until I get home. But,
that ain't even the case, because this nigga should have smacked everybody. But,
his hand should be hurting.
From smacking everybody. But I mean, like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of petty because I'm like, damn, like, charge me for street racing. Don't charge me because that nigga died and killed someone else. I get why he's charged, but yeah, I mean, it should be real interesting in the dynamic of that story. I still feel like he could get drafted, but that's going to draft, like, that's going to drop his stock tremendously. Especially because he's going to have to fight it in court, and it's going to take a while to fight in court. I think... Well, I want to get this punchline out. I think Thomas Shea is actually the first time forever he's got it right where he would say a nigga got character issues, but they wouldn't explain what the issues is. And ironically, this nigga did that, so clearly he has character issues. But, I don't know. So did you see the Bama player, though? The Bama Hooper.
Murder was the case that they gave him.
No, his homeboy. So, for the sake of explaining the story, because I don't want y'all a clue, I don't know these two players' names.
It's still an ongoing case, by the way.
So, the story goes that the player, I'm going to say A. Player A and player B were hanging out. Player B had a gun. He drops the gun in his car. Player A drops him off at his apartment. So player B texts him. Texts player A. Was like, yo, oh shit, I forgot my gun in your car. Can you bring it to me? Player A goes, sure, bro, no problem. So then he drives back to the apartments, brings his gun to his homeboy. His homeboy then takes the gun, proceeds to shoot his baby mama in the head, shoot her dead. Within 5 minutes, too, of getting the gun. So now player A is on these like under investigation, getting these basically guilty by association sort of cases and all types of shit. What does this nigga proceed to do? This nigga proceeds to, I don't know if you remember, but in high school, you know what I'm saying, you had a little handshake when you come out and they introduce you on the PA announcer. He has them do the pat down, and it's like, nigga.
This is the craziest shit I've seen.
What makes it so bad, too, and now, mind you, I'm talking about player A. Player A is the one that drove the car, then handed the gun to player B. He didn't shoot nobody, so he's technically not in trouble, but he's guilty by association. Then he proceeds to drop 41 and hit the game-tying shot to go into overtime, then hit the game-winning shot to win the game, obviously. He's been balling out of his mind. And I guess, arguably, he's like a top, I want to say 6 or 7 draft pick because it's the Twins, it's Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and I think there might be one other player. And then they're saying it's Duke from Alabama. Nigga's dumb for doing the pat down celebration. Like, that's just stupid. But this is also crazy. I think I've never seen a story like this. This is almost like when Kobe had the alleged essay, and then he was going ballistic in the league. I think he was dropping like 40 in like a week.
So that nigga play for your freedom.
Basically. How do you feel about this Bama player?
Sounds like a future Piston, if you ask me. We would love to have you, man. I hope the way that we've been playing, we looking like a top pick now. We getting a top pick now. So, but how I feel?
Where'd you get his jersey? You gonna look at me like I'm the bad guy? You the one brought us here, nigga. I can't believe you made that face.
I got Ray Lewis jersey somewhere too. Wait, I didn't mean like allegedly. You got off.
That's actually a great analogy. Because his friend came back to the bus talking about I stabbed that nigga.
He did.
That's actually
with conviction too.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, I did.
Yep, that's a great analogy.
But yeah, I got a Ray Lewis jersey somewhere in my mama's crib. But would I get a jersey? Mm-hmm. I'm about to say something nasty too. I was like,
yeah, I mean, you already did. We already here. Fuck it.
With a Ja jersey or
I did not think your brain was gonna go there. Nah, fuck it. Give me a Ja jersey. I'm getting a Ja.
Get you a Ja jersey or
a Ja one?
I don't know if
that motherfucker go hard.
Especially the Vancouver jersey.
Mm-hmm. That's the jersey I have in my head too.
Yeah,
that's we sick as hell. We going to hell. Hell's gonna be hot. Man, fuck it. Then let's just get because it's already 2 hours in. Let's get to this Ja Wick situation.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant basically posted like an IG live.
JW.
To where he had a gun and it was like one of those like small.
I think it was like a 22.
It was small as hell. Because it fit in the palm of his hand.
Definitely like a 22.
And he was just flexing it on IG. And then by him flexing it on IG, ended up getting him suspended.
50 games.
Well, no. At first he got suspended for 2 games. Because they're doing an investigation, and I thought that was the dumbest headline. I'm like, nigga, what? You saw it? Like,
so,
the fuck you
like, it's right there.
But then again, at the same time, it was like it.
They were trying. It was more an investigation of how he got this gun, how did he get into the club, where he purchased his gun from, who do you like?
What club are you talking about? Because he did it on IG Live.
Wasn't he in a club on IG Live?
I think he was with his shirt off. I think it was like the crib.
It was in like it looked like it was in a dislocation. It looked like it was either a studio or a club.
I think it had to be somewhere because he was with a group of niggas. He was
exactly. So in my mind, it either had to be a studio or a club.
No, I think it was just his crib. I just think he was hanging out with the niggas. I don't think it was anywhere else where like they was about to get active.
Right.
Because I feel like if that was the case, then he would have been active. Also, not to mention, it was an IG live. You didn't see any other perspectives from it. I feel like if it was someone where he was outside, it'd be like, oh shit, Ja Morant with the gun. Or they would have been the Brian Pillman, like, oh, Ja got a gun. But
why?
It was there. I had to go back. The crazy thing too about like, so when they brought up the story about the 17-year-old that Ja beat up and then pulled out his gun, I thought the nigga did it again. And I ain't gonna lie, because this is like right before he posted this IG live with the gun. I thought he did it again, and I'm like, yo, where is this nigga Ja just finding 17-year-olds to beat the fuck up and put guns in front of their faces? And no one's recording this in 2020. Like, what the fuck is going on? But obviously, it was a story from last summer, which I didn't. Did you know it was at Ja's crib?
I didn't even peep that it was last summer at Ja's crib.
It was at his crib. The 17-year-old was playing basketball at Ja Morant's house and then decided to punch Ja, which was crazy. Then Ja said, wait 1 second, went in his house, which is code for like, this nigga finna go get something.
Anytime a nigga say, wait 1 second, that's your chance to scoot the fuck up out of there, especially if you know he with a group of niggas, if he got power to do it.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing too is like, so he runs inside, gets the gun, beats up the 17-year-old, points the gun in his face, and there's the Indianapolis situation. I think the reason why this got suppressed so crazy is because it was at Ja's crib, and he had an agent, and obviously the 17-year-old started some shit too. So like, I can see a world where this gets pressed to hell. And then I see a world where the Indiana thing gets pressed, and now it makes more sense. Or suppressed, excuse me. With the whole Ja thing, everybody's so confused because I don't know the narrative that came out that he wasn't like a gangster or anything like that. Like, I don't know if I believe that because I think his dad stopped playing ball because he had Ja, and I think he's well known in Memphis, or like not Memphis, but like down south. My thing is like
South Carolina, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, South Carolina. My thing is like, people fail to realize if Ja Morant, say he wasn't like this and he was pretending to be a gangster, right? If he's pretending to be a gangster in Utah or Indiana or
they would have traded that nigga by now.
but hold on. Say Denver. Somewhere where I guess is like not well-known areas of where you need to keep it on you or anything like that. Then, okay, yeah, Ja's being a gangster, Ja's being a thug, he's trying to act tough, this and that, blah, say blah. I understand that wholeheartedly. Ja Memphis, bro.
This nigga in the dirt.
Memphis. Where, if you gotta think of like well-known Memphis figures, if we being honest.
Elvis.
Bro, get out your own crib. Niggas said Elvis.
Elvis from Memphis?
What? That like
Yo Gotti? Dolph? Is Dolph?
But that's what, yeah.
Glorilla?
But that's where I was going to go.
Mafia?
Okay, you just naming niggas now. Relax. But what I'm trying to say is like Yo Gotti, Ja Morant, and Dolph, arguably right now. And Dolph
Glorilla
died. Let me just fit land. Dolph died in Memphis. Dig what I'm saying? Like, he was one of the most well-known, most loved people. And he died in that state, in that city. If Ja feels like he can't protect himself without having that tool on him, I don't blame him. I've been through Memphis before, and I've known people, black people, who, like, dogging to me, like, could have the whole stereotype of not being corny, being tough, this and third. And niggas ask them, oh, where you from? And they say where they from, and they go, do not be outside by 8 o'clock. After it, don't come outside 8:01, 8:02, 8:03. Stay your ass inside until 8 a.m. in the morning. And they telling this to niggas. So Memphis, do not play that. So Ja acting out in Memphis is not surprising, especially if you guys homeboys with him, especially if he's in Memphis, especially feels like he can get touched.
Don't even know. I mean, yeah, obviously, like he knows you're going to know the city that you play for, you know. But like as far as being a residential and knowing where not to be at certain times, yeah.
Shit, if I'm in Memphis, Chicago.
That's not even like playing for the Tigers and.
Yeah, Memphis, Chicago, Detroit. Like, if I'm in certain areas and certain cities, I'm not leaving without the tool. Texas.
Houston.
Not even saying Texas get down like, I mean, it does get down like that, but to just say, like, Texas is still Texas. Like, everybody got a license to carry, so I'm going to carry. But, like, if I'm in Indiana, I'll take my chances. If I'm in Utah, I'll take my chances. Like, not saying they can't get down, not saying those cities can't have bad crimes or this, that, and the third, but I'm taking my chances where I'm at. Like, Ja could just be in a bad environment. And granted, it could be his homies. And, like he has to become the leader because I think they said something along the lines of, like, before this happened, prior to, like, this week, he was going to get a Powerade deal. He's about to get his own signature Nike, like, next month.
They were supposed to come out, like, this month or next month, wasn't they?
I think next month. Like, he's lined up to be the face of the league when, in actuality, the league doesn't really have a face. The league has been the best it's ever been, but it doesn't have a face because LeBron is kind of passing the torch to really no one. I guess Giannis might be the best option, but even then, it doesn't seem like a flat out option. Like when Jordan was in the league, it was obvious as hell that Jordan was going to take the torch from Magic and Larry Bird. Mm. And then like when Kobe was in the league, it was obvious as hell. Magic, like LeBron was next in line, but right now, there's not really like a clear-cut favorite. Like Ja was supposed to be that. I feel like Luka could have been that, but Luka's kind of in that like Dirk Nowitzki role. Like I think the league has many stars, but it doesn't have a superstar. And for Ja, you don't want to see him throw this away because of this instance. I don't know what has to happen. I don't know. I can't see a world where Memphis trades him. They gave him too much money. They gave him over $200 million.
They love that nigga.
And he loves them. But he has to move different. Whether that's cutting certain people off. He might have to do that. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that because not everybody is going to go with you, is going to grow with you. Like, so you could take your homeboys out the hood, but they still might be a hood baby, a hood mentality.
And with everything being hyped up, everything being, you know, escalated to the fullest degree. I mean, I'm your nigga. You got all this money. You got all this bread. You got these cars and stuff like that. And then you come me off. It's like, well, damn, nigga. Like, you know, like not too many people, especially of that high caliber. Not too many of your niggas is going to take too kindly to you being just like shutting them off and out like that.
But you have to if they're not willing to grow. If you're not willing to understand that there's too much money involved with me.
It was fucking up my bread, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's either you or me. And like say
if it's gotta be that, it's gonna be you.
And if you have to go down, like your friend who's up could take care of you more than me if we all go down if I go down. I feel like people fail to realize that. And people like, and it's a hard dynamic because everybody thinks you're like selfish or bogus for cutting niggas off. But it's like, bro, like niggas ain't got time to go to the club. Niggas ain't got time to worry about if niggas looking funny or acting goofy or this and that. Like niggas is about their purpose. Like Ja was second in the West. Like, Ja easily could have been a finals MVP and all this shit, and now he potentially could not.
Yeah.
I think I saw a meme. It was like Derrick Rose looking at Ja wasting his knees on gangbanging or some shit. It was just like, nigga. I don't know. I mean.
Crazy as hell, boy.
And I like Ja. I like Ja a lot.
I like his game. I like him.
I think he's good for the sport. I don't know. I really don't know what happens because this is like the NBA bingo board crazy as hell.
We've never seen shit like this as far as an NBA standpoint.
Right. And I mean, I love fuck Skip Bayless. But I love what the OGs are doing as far as offering advice, and like Paul Pierce, Steven Jackson. Like, yo, I remember I had Jalen Rose. I was like, there was times where I had to carry a gun because of where I'm from and the situations I've been in and being paranoid. But I had to like remove people in my life that felt like everywhere we went to, or places we wanted to go to, or places I shouldn't have been at, I had to carry a gun. And that's very valid. Like, I feel like if you're in a position to where you feel like you might have to fight when you leave, or you might have to carry a gun so you don't get robbed or anything like that, you do not need to be in those areas. You don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, like, yeah, Skip Bayless putting Crip on Ja like that was kind of nasty.
That was nasty as fuck.
Because it's just like, nigga, first of all, you could have been a blood. Now you really...
You really fuck playing with your life.
Just did YSL shit. Like...
I don't know, man. That was crazy. I know you saw Shannon Sharp's face when they...
I didn't look at his face. I just saw the caption.
I think it was like, what? All right. Anyway,
Speaking of YSL, just real quick, and then we can wrap this shit up. Bro, YSL Woodley, whatever the fuck the nigga name is, it don't matter to me. He snitched for 3 hours, bro. He checked his pulse after got done snitching. Like, bro.
Oh, yeah, you see that? He was like,
damn, man. This shit got me excited. Bro, that shit nasty.
He was playing a sport.
Nigga got his cardio for the day.
Man. If nigga snitching all that much, and if a nigga came back, they got, you know what type of meal I would ask if I was snitching for 3 hours, nigga?
What would you ask? I don't even know what I would ask for. 3 hours is a long time to talk.
I'm getting like a 3-piece course at Red Lobster along with the cheddar biscuits. Definitely. I'm definitely doing that. Or you could just give me like a tenderloin, chili cheese tenderloin. I would die snitch for 3 hours for his chili cheese tenderloin. With cheese curds on the side. And a root beer milkshake.
Just know.
I'll give you 3.5. I'll be like, yeah, Brian,
See, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Cause like, just know if we're in a spot to where like there would not be a tenderloin like that with a root beer float like that, and I just see that shit, and
I'll put it like this perspective.
If I see you look shocked at me when I see you with that food, I'm getting mad. I'm just firing off rip, like I'm swinging,
and I'm cutting that tenderloin in half.
Yeah, if I see half of it, oh yeah, man, go ahead, Brandon.
You know what? Half is for the first half of telling, and then the other half.
Yo, wrap this podcast up, bro. This nigga making me sick.
Hey, man, hey, we had a good ass podcast. Fuck, man, that shit made me hungry. I gotta save the other half for later because y'all don't know about the other shit.
Want me to set it up too? I'm gonna lick your fingers. Have a napkin, man.
His heartbeat must have been going. I can only imagine what was going on in this nigga's brain, bro.
I just can't believe everybody in YSL snitched on this nigga. How his rival have better loyalty than, you know what?
They say Young Thug made a game with the worst group of niggas.
Yeah. What is your closing statement for episode 115?
Oh, man. We got through some good ass topics. We laughed. We were serious. Everything that you need on the TBH podcast hour. We provide laughs. We provide relationship advice. We provide just life advice. Man, listen to us because we like to think that we know what the fuck we're talking about, and we like to think that we're funny niggas. Hopefully you think the same. So rate the shit 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything that your streaming love desires. And we'll get back to you next week. And also keep positive for me. Like I said, I've had a pretty rough week, so just keep them prayers going. I had a couple people reach out, and I definitely appreciate that. My family appreciates that. Thank you. So yeah, just if you need me still, I'm my DMs are open as far as, just any advice that you want to give me or anything for the podcast. Just let me know. I'll always reply because I love you guys dearly. So,
Be sure to follow the podcast on anchor.fm/TylerBrianHour for little as $1, $4, $9, whatever you can afford. Shout out to Good Brother Lopez. Appreciate you always. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, TylerBrianHour, the TikTok, TylerBrianHour. I got to figure out, and Instagram, got to figure out a way to grow the platform. It's doing good as far as numbers wise, as far as like numbers for the followers and stuff like that. Like the interactions are better than what we got, but we could always improve upon. And
we always need some pizzazz, that for us, you know. We need that spice up. What?
I don't get what do you mean?
Like what they saying. This is the appetizer right now. Wait until we really dabble into like some more venues to do this shit. Because I know y'all getting tired of this whack ass, raggedy ass Vine background. So, you know, this is just the appetizer of what we could get into.
Go get that Dom project. Tell them be heard.